Now you have learned various ways to construct strings, as well as string interpolation. It's time to test your knowledge. String interpolation may seem a strange syntax, but the sooner you get used to its syntax, the cleaner your code and shorter it will be. It allows to do string formatting much easier than any other way. It gives you a visually shorter code length, and it's the modern way to add strings together and manipulate strings. It's very powerful, and it's something you cannot gain from using other string format methods. So let's jump in and test your knowledge. And let's jump in with our first question. What is the result of this expression? Is it some string with no spaces, some string with a space, or some plus string with spaces between? And again, this is the result of this expression in code. What string value would it give you back? And the answer is some space string. You can see here all we have done is taken a string literal sum with a space after it, used the plus to add the string next to it with the value of string inside, and the end result is another string that forms the value some string with a space in between. So pay attention to the space in the strings. They are important when they are inside of the double quotes. Next up, is this expression valid code? So this is two double quotes dot to string. Simply yes or no. So again, think about this one. We have explained it and you should get this one right. We have taken a string literal and done dot to string. Is this actually valid? Can you do that? And the answer is yes. Even though this is already a string, as I mentioned, all types in C# derive from object with very few exceptions. String is not one of those exceptions, so as it derives from an object, it has the dot to string method on it, and you can effectively call dot to string on itself. Now this is mostly useless code. It's simply checking if you are listening to the key details and understand where toString comes from. Basically, think of it like every single type in C# has toString. For the odd exceptions that don't, such as an interface and dynamic, it's worth simply thinking about everything will have .toString on with those few exceptions. Next up, is this code valid? So we have the dollar symbol, the two double quotes with curly braces inside, and a semicolon ending the statement. So is this code valid? You should know the answer to this again. I did mention when inside of the curly braces what the compiler is expecting. And the answer, of course, is no. The reason this is invalid is simply because inside of the curly braces, the code block is not returning anything. When inside of the code block, the code is expected to be an expression that returns a value. So it's a valid interpolated string because we have the dollar sign and two double quotes. It's a valid statement because it ends with a semicolon. The only thing letting this down from being valid code is that the expression code block has no code inside and therefore does not return a value. So again, the key here is close attention to detail with strings and syntax. Showing you syntax that is not the norm and having you break down why things aren't valid helps you understand when they are, why they are valid. Next up, what is the result of a number is 400 with the 400 inside the curly braces? Is it a number is 400? Is this code invalid? Or is it a number is 400 with the curly braces? Ignoring the lack of a semicolon here. And the answer is the bottom one, a number is the curly braces and 400. The reason being, this is simply a string literal. Notice there is no dollar sign at the start, so this is not an interpolated string. Therefore, the curly braces inside this string are simply curly braces. They get displayed exactly as they are. So it's important when you see curly braces inside of a string, double check if you are inside an interpolated string with the dollar symbol. A good hint inside of Visual Studio is when you break out of the string in interpolated strings, the curly braces turn white, and the code inside the code block is highlighted in the usual colours for code. If it is not an interpolated string, then it will be the same colour as the rest of the string, which is typically a dark red. Next up, what is the result of this expression? Is it a number is 400 with spaces and curly braces? Is it simply a number is 400 with no spaces? Or is it a number is 400 with extra spaces after the is and 400? You should get this one right. This is fairly easy now. And the answer is a number is 400 with no spaces. This is because it's an interpolated string, so the spaces inside of the double quotes count until we get to the code block, in which case those extra spaces then get ignored because the code block is not a string, it is simply code that is going to return a value, and spaces inside of the code block are irrelevant. The first answer would have been correct if we left off the $, meaning this was just a plain string literal. And the last answer would have been correct if the spaces were on the left-hand side of the curly braces before we open the code block. Second to last question now. Is the following code valid? So we have a variable a, and we are setting it to the value of an interpolated string, and we have passed in a boolean. So is this code completely correct, and is this valid code? Look at it very carefully, make sure you understand all the syntax, and let me know your answer. And the answer is yes. We have var a, which declares a variable, and the type of the variable will come from the right-hand side of the declaration. We then have equals. We have a $sign that starts a string interpolation. We have the double quotes, so it's a successful completion of the string interpolation. There is no strings inside of this. We go straight into opening the code block, which is completely valid. And then we have a boolean value inside, true, which is a result. So true is the result. This boolean value true will then get converted to a string, and the string's value will become whatever the boolean true.toString is. So yes, this is valid code. And the last question now, let's see if any of you get this right. What value is in the variable a after this statement has run? Is it true with a lowercase, true with an uppercase, or the number 1? So this is a variable a, and the value comes from the interpolated string from the last question. So you already know this will run true.toString, but what is the result? The answer is true with an uppercase. Now the only way you would have got this right is by running that code and experimenting. Remember, I always say, don't just watch the lesson and take everything as truth. And it's also the same, don't just watch the lesson and leave it there. Open up Visual Studio, write some code, reaffirm your understanding of what's happening, test things that you're unsure of, write code that doesn't look right, see why it breaks. So when you learned about string interpolation, and I said any value that goes inside the code block has .toString called on it, you should go back and experiment with all the variables you know of, pass them in and see what the results are as strings to understand. If any of you did this, you would have realized that a boolean, true or false, even though the keyword inside of C# is a lowercase, the string representation of booleans is uppercase. So this one I only expect you to get if you've gone that extra mile and had curiosity. Curiosity is very powerful in programming. If you have natural curiosity to drive your desire to understand things, you will learn code much more. Hopefully you have learned a lot from this lesson, and as always, if you don't score 100%, go back and watch the lesson again and then take the test again.